I was crying every day. I felt in the deepest depression that I had ever had.
She went from getting fired at a grocery store to running the entire hip-hop game. But how she got there, most people have no clue. Everyone knows the superstar Cardi B, the hits, the Grammys, the wild drama, but barely anyone talks about the pain, the secrets, and the chaos that shaped her. She's not just a chart topper, she's a survivor who came from nothing and turned her pain into power. Before the fame and the flash, there was struggle, real, raw, and heartbreaking. The abuse she went through, the industry walls she broke down, the enemies she made while climbing up, it's all a side of her story that's been buried under fame. Cardi didn't stumble into success, she fought for it, clawed her way up through things that could have crushed anyone else. The media only shows the glitz, but behind that sparkle lies scars she'll never fully heal from. So if you think you know who Cardi B really is, think again. What you're about to hear will flip your whole image of her upside down. This is the dark rise and real life of Cardi B. She got fired from a grocery store, and that moment changed everything. What she did next turned her into an $80 million powerhouse. But before that wild come up, you need to know exactly where she came from. The Bronx, New York, and not the fancy side, the rough blocks where you learn to throw hands before you learn equations. Back then, she was just Belculus Almanzar, a kid watching her Trinidadian mom and Dominican dad grind non-stop and still come up short. No peace, no breaks, just struggle. By 14, she was in street fights, skipping classes, running with the wrong crowd. The Bronx doesn't raise quitters, it raises fighters. So when she finally landed that grocery store job in Tribeca, she thought this is it. A little stability, a normal life, a real chance. But then, one random Tuesday, everything flipped. Her manager pulled her aside. In that moment, it would change her entire future. You're done, fired. Just like that, no warning, no mercy. And that single moment, that brutal blow, became the spark that lit one of the biggest explosions in music history. But it didn't happen how anyone would expect. Right across the street from that grocery store was her escape route, a strip club. And Cardi didn't even blink before walking through those doors. Years later, she'd say something that left everyone stunned. "Becoming a stripper saved my life." Sounds wild, right? But what most people don't realize is that back then, she had nothing. No money, no home, and she was trying to survive abuse while being kicked out of her mom's house. Stripping wasn't a dream, it was survival. It gave her something she'd never had before, control. For the first time ever, she could pay her own rent, go back to school, and finally breathe without begging anyone for help. But don't twist it. This wasn't some glam movie montage with flashing lights and easy cash. The club world was dark, dangerous, and full of sharks waiting for weakness. If she hesitated, she'd get eaten alive. So she adapted, fast. She learned how to fight without throwing punches, using her sharp tongue, unshakable confidence, and fearless energy instead. And that's where it was born, the real Cardi B. Not the name yet, but the power, the voice, the fire, that wild confidence, that say what I want attitude you see today. It was built there in that chaos. Because in that world, you either run the room or the room runs you. And she made sure to own every second of it. Then came 2013, the year everything flipped upside down. Social media exploded, Vine, Instagram, and Cardi found her weapon. She started dropping wild, unfiltered videos, just talking about life, relationships, money, and men. No script, no sugarcoating, no fear. Her Bronx accent cut through the noise. Her energy was raw and real, and people couldn't look away. In a world full of fake filters and picture-perfect lies, Cardi B felt real, and that hit different. Here was someone who didn't care about playing it safe, not even a little. Cardi said what everyone else was thinking, but didn't have the guts to say out loud. That became her secret weapon. Within months, she blew up online. Total viral takeover. Her clips were everywhere. Memes, reaction videos, quotes, and interview clips flying across every feed like wildfire. Everyone knew her as that hilarious stricker from the Bronx who didn't hold back for anyone. But what the world didn't notice was that while everyone was laughing, Cardi was strategizing. She wasn't chasing clout just to stay trending, no way. She was quietly building something way bigger, a name, a legacy, a brand. She knew exactly what she was doing, and the next move she made proved it. She wasn't just a viral moment, she was a storm that wouldn't fade. Hey America, what's poppin'? My name is Cardi B. That's how she kicked down the door in 2015 when she joined Love and Hip Hop New York. But here's the twist. Most people use reality TV just to hang on to fame. Cardi, she used it as her launch pad. From the moment she hit the screen, loud, hilarious, and totally unfiltered, viewers couldn't look away. She was magnetic, unpredictable, real. Jezebel called her the breakout star, and the New York Times said she had a superpower, turning every sentence into a viral moment. But what the cameras didn't catch was the chaos happening off screen. Behind all that confidence, Cardi was living through madness, trapped in a toxic relationship, her fiancé locked up, trying to record music with zero industry backing. In the music world, they were laughing at her. A stripper turned reality TV star trying to become a rapper? They didn't take her seriously for a second. But what they didn't realize was that she was about to prove every single one of them wrong. They didn't take her seriously, but that wasn't new. Cardi had been underestimated her entire life, and every doubt thrown at her just turned into more fuel for her fire. So in 2016, she did something no one saw coming. She walked away from Love and Hip Hop, just quit right when her fame was peaking. People thought she was crazy, but Cardi didn't care about playing it safe. She refused to be boxed in or labeled as just another TV personality. She looked straight at the cameras and said, "I'm not gonna let this show define me. I'm gonna define myself." And what happened next? That's when the real story began.
Hey America, what's poppin'? My name is Cardi B.
Then came the moment that changed everything. Bodak Yellow. Nobody expected it. Critics rolled their eyes. Another reality star trying to rap, they said. But the joke was on them. The track started slow, then suddenly it caught fire. Higher and higher it climbed. Billboard Hot 100, Top 10, Top 5, and then boom, #1. Cardi B made history as the first female rapper in 19 years to hit #1 solo on the Billboard charts. Nobody could deny her anymore. She went from being the girl people laughed at on Instagram to the woman rewriting rap history in a male-dominated game. She didn't wait for permission, she took her spot. The world crowned her the new queen of rap. But here's what nobody talks about. Wearing that crown comes with a heavy price, because fame isn't free. The moment she hit the top, the target on her back got bigger. The media started tearing her apart. Her accent, her clothes, her past as a stripper, even her body. Everything became a headline. Every little mistake turned into a full-blown scandal. And then the feud started. Nicki Minaj, fans, journalists, the internet going wild with Twitter wars that shot her timelines. Cardi was living her dream, but the pressure, it was crushing. The same world that cheered her rise was now waiting for her to fall, and she knew it. One wrong word, that's all it took for millions to turn on her. Cardi said it herself, "I used to post whatever I want. Now I can't even breathe without being judged." The same raw honesty that made her famous was now eating her alive. The unfiltered energy that built her empire was starting to destroy her peace. But the hate wasn't even the worst part. It was what happened when the cameras were off. Behind the fame, the lights, and the luxury, Cardi was fighting her hardest battle yet. She fell for Offset, got married in secret, and had his child. For a moment, it looked like her fairy tale, until everything came crashing down. Then came the cheating rumors, leaked videos, messy tweets. Her private heartbreak became a global headline. The man she loved ended up humiliating her in front of the entire world. And here's the part that broke hearts. She stayed. Because underneath all the fame, all the boldness, and all that Bronx fire, Cardi was still that girl searching for love, still hoping this time would be different. She told Vogue, "I'm not perfect. I love hard, maybe too hard." And that's what most people don't see. Behind the clapbacks, the luxury fits, and the spotlight, there's just a woman trying not to get hurt again. Then came the moment, and the Grammy goes to Invasion of Privacy, Cardi B. February 10th, 2019. History made. Cardi B became the first solo female rapper ever to win Best Rap Album at the Grammys. You'd think the world would celebrate her, right? Wrong. Within minutes, the internet exploded with hate. She doesn't deserve it. Her success is fake. That's not real hip-hop. It was brutal.
That night, when she was supposed to feel untouchable, she was instead live on Instagram, crying. "I worked my ass off. I slept in studios. I wrote every verse. I earned this," she said, her voice cracking, tears streaming down her face.
I'm going to thank a lot of people because a lot of people helped me with my success.
And here's the truth nobody wants to admit. Fame doesn't protect you. It doesn't heal you. It just broadcasts your pain to the world, turning every wound into content for people to judge. She climbed from nothing, shattered barriers, and made history. But the moment she reached the top, she learned how lonely it really is up there. After that Grammy night, everything shifted again. The fame that once lifted her up now felt heavy, suffocating even. Every post, every outfit, every lyric got twisted into controversy. People weren't just watching her anymore, they were waiting for her to slip. And when she finally started speaking up again, the media spun every word into drama. It was like no matter what she did, she couldn't win. By 2020, Cardi was juggling motherhood, marriage, drama, and non-stop pressure to top her own success. Every song had to be bigger, every move had to be flawless, and every emotion she showed became another headline. "I can't even be sad in peace," she once ranted online, and she meant it. The same fans who cheered her rise were now picking apart every part of her life. Then came the pandemic, and suddenly the spotlight turned into a cage. With the world watching from their screens, Cardi decided she wasn't gonna fade out, not now. She dropped WAP with Megan Thee Stallion, and boom, another explosion. The track broke the internet. People went wild, some praising her for being bold, others trying to tear her down for the exact same reason. But love it or hate it, everyone was talking about her again. Still, fame has a dark price, and Cardi felt it deep. Lawsuits, online beefs, endless scrutiny. It was like she couldn't breathe without someone twisting her words. But here's the thing, she never ran. She clapped back, she stood tall, she kept moving, because quitting, that's never been in her blood. And when people started whispering that she was falling off, she flipped the script yet again. She dropped hits, signed massive deals, launched her own brands, and proved she wasn't just a rapper, she was a full-blown mogul. From the Bronx to billion-dollar boardrooms, she was still calling her own shots. Behind all the chaos, though, she started talking more about mental health, family, and peace, things fame can't buy. "I just want to be happy," she said during a live. Simple words, but they hit hard. Because after everything, the pain, the scandals, the victories, Cardi wasn't chasing approval anymore. She was chasing peace. And that's the real story people miss. The headlines show the drama, the beefs, the viral clips, but underneath it all, there's still the same Bronx girl who fought her way out of nothing, built an empire from scratch, and refused to let the world break her. She's not done yet, not even close. They tried to push her out of the spotlight, to make her disappear, but just when people thought she'd fade away, everything flipped again. Cardi started fighting battles that nobody saw coming, real battles. Courtrooms, Twitter wars, strip club brawls that turned into assault charges back in 2018. Every single day there was a new headline, a new scandal, a new fight. And you know what? She never backed down. That's what made her Cardi B. She faced every storm head on, no matter how messy or loud it got.
And the Grammy goes to Invasion of Privacy, Cardi B.
But while the world saw her swinging, they didn't see her breaking behind the scenes. By 2020, the pressure was eating her alive. She finally admitted, "Sometimes I feel like I can't take it anymore. I'm a human being before I'm famous." That hit hard. She vanished from social media more than once, just to breathe, just to survive. Because the same fame that rescued her from the Bronx was now choking her spirit. Think about it. Every relationship criticized, every decision dragged, every single sentence twisted into drama. Living under that kind of microscope will mess with your head. You start forgetting who you are, what you love, what peace even feels like. Then came the moment that truly changed her world, the birth of her daughter, Culture. For the first time in her life, Cardi hit pause. She told fans, "Having a baby changed me. I stopped chasing fame and started chasing peace." It was raw, it was real, but even that got twisted by the internet. The way she dressed her baby, the way she parented, how much she worked, how little she worked.
No matter what she did, people found a reason to attack. It was like she couldn't win. Every move became another debate, another round of hate. But here's what most people don't get. Cardi wasn't built to run from chaos. She was made for it. When others collapse under pressure, she gets sharper, stronger, louder. Those same storms that destroy other careers, for her, they're just fuel to go harder. Still, behind the diamonds, the mansions, the world tours, and the laughter, there's something deeper, something most never see. Behind the fame, Cardi's still that same girl from the Bronx who battles her own mind every single day. She's opened up about panic attacks, sleepless nights, and feeling completely alone even in rooms packed with people. She's admitted that sometimes she misses the old her, the version before the fame, before the chaos, before the world decided they owned every piece of her. And that's the part no headline ever shows, the heart behind the fire, the woman behind the name, still fighting for peace in a world that feeds off her pain. This is the side they never show in the music videos, the truth behind the fame. Because here's what nobody tells you about making it. The higher you climb, the harder they try to drag you down. Cardi B didn't just build an empire, she built it from the dirt. She took every insult, every betrayal, every time they tried to bury her, and turned it into fire that pushed her even higher. But here's the part they skip over. She's still fighting that same battle, still human, still dealing with the pressure of a world that rewards you for losing yourself. The fame didn't save her, the money didn't fix her, and that's what makes her story so real. Cardi B's life is still dark at times, not because she failed, but because success doesn't erase your demons. It just puts them under a brighter spotlight. From stripping in the Bronx to smashing records on Billboard, from reality TV chaos to rewriting the rules for every woman in rap, Cardi did what people said was impossible. She once said, "I want to be remembered as someone who worked hard and never gave up." And whether you love her or can't stand her, you can't deny she's lived that truth. Millions of women see themselves in her struggle, the fight, the flaws, the grit. But success came with a brutal price. The same spotlight that made her a global icon also became her cage. And that's the thing about Cardi B that people don't like to admit. She's messy, she's loud, she's raw, and that's exactly why millions can't look away. She didn't just make it, she fought her way there, clawing through concrete with her bare hands while the whole world doubted her. And here's the part that'll shock you. Even with all the money, the fame, and the platinum plaques on her walls, she's still fighting those same inner battles that haunted her when she had nothing. The truth is, this isn't a fairy tale, it's survival. It's a story about a woman who refused to give up, no matter how ugly the world got. The dark rise and even darker reality of Cardi B isn't about perfection. It never was. It's about staying real when everyone else is pretending. That's her real power. Not the fame, not the money, but her honesty. Thanks for watching. If this story hit you, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Star Watch. We got more real stories, more untold truth, and more fire coming your way. Stay tuned. This is just the beginning.